What's up, guys? We're in downtown Hudson, Ohio. I'm going to give you the full walking tour of this downtown area, why people love Hudson, show you why people want to move here, what it's like coming down here to hang out. So we're going to go check out some of the shops, the restaurants, I'll show you some of the parks and just kind of walk you around this great walkable downtown area. So let's go. So we're starting right in the middle of town. This is 91 that goes straight through the middle of Hudson. We're on the Hudson Green, or one of them. There's actually 5 of them, but this is the one that's right in the center of town. It's a really nice park. It's, February, so in the summer, we'll come back and I'll show you more of this in the summer, but this is really nice. All the trees are full. So there's a lot of events throughout the summer, the usual parades and Memorial Day, farmers markets here on the weekends, the art festivals. It does get pretty crowded down here in this main green area. And then of course, behind all these shops and restaurants we'll see is kind of the really walkable area of downtown. So this is the main Hudson Green. Lots of sidewalks going through here, and there are a couple more down to the south. There's the gazebo where people get married. And then over on the east side here is kind of more of the historic side of Hudson. So if you drive through this neighborhood back here, that's where you're gonna find all the houses that are 100, 200 years old. College Street, Church Street, and there are tour maps on Hudson's website. If you're really into the historic buildings, shows all the original homes that were here, the houses that were part of the Underground Railroad. So that's pretty cool to check out. And I'll link that in the description also. They have a ton of resources on there. And Hudson has a really cool history too, which we'll talk about. And this clock tower is a large part of it. So up here to the northeast, if you follow Aurora Street, that's where the Hudson High School, middle school, elementary school are very highly rated schools here. That's one of the biggest reasons people move to Hudson. I believe niche.com puts them in the top 10 of all schools in all of Ohio, and that's a huge attraction for a lot of people. Also, Western Reserve Academy, which has a cool history that was founded in Hudson here. I'll go over the history as we walk by some of these shops here. So this is the Ellsworth Clock Tower on the north side of town. It's very historically significant. And this section north here has the barber shop, Dave's Cosmic Subs, these little shops right here. The bookstore, that's kind of the end of the north side of town, really the walkable area. So most of this goes back down to the south side, and we're just gonna wrap around and then go back into the walking district behind these buildings here. If you do love parks, to the southeast, back here is Colony Park and the Barlow Farm Park, which has the new pickleball courts. It's actually not within walking distance, but pickleball is kind of the thing to do now, so that's pretty popular. And then southeast is Veterans Way Park, kind of close to town. You could walk there. They have a skate park, courts, playground, paved trails in there. Cascade Park is also down that way as well. They have some waterfalls, and that's by the Ellsworth Golf Club. To the northeast here is Hudson Springs Park. They have a really nice lake up there, playground, disc golf course, trails to walk through. A lot of small parks here. And of course, 10 minutes to the east of us is Cuyahoga Valley National Park, some of the best trails in Northeast Ohio. So we're gonna head up north side here and then just walk down along these side streets, try not to get hit by some of these cars. That is the one negative thing about Hudson, I think, is having 91 running straight through the middle of town. You can see it's not horribly busy, but it does have pretty constant traffic through here. If you go north on here, you run into Twinsburg. There is the Hudson Country Club up there with a really nice golf course. Now, I don't play golf, so I don't know how great these courses are. I hear that Twinsburg is one of the best in Ohio, so I'd love your opinion. There are 3 golf courses within a few miles of Hudson, whether you play golf here or if you live here, what those courses are like. And then of course, the Turnpike is up there as well, so it's really convenient access if you're traveling anywhere. Hudson has a great location in the middle of Cleveland and Akron, so it's very convenient, only 30 to 45 minutes from major cities if that's what you're looking for. We're gonna cross over here and go through the main walking area of Hudson. So we're basically just gonna make a giant square heading south, and then we'll end up right back here by the coffee shop, Open Door Coffee. They have pretty good coffee. It's a really nice little quiet atmosphere back there. And then there's Heartwood Coffee back towards that side. Hudson has a pretty interesting history. It was founded in 1799 by David Hudson, settled this township when he bought most of this land from the Connecticut Land Company. People slowly trickled in until the 1820s when the Western Reserve Academy was founded just north of here. During the 1850s, the railroad bubble kind of collapsed here, and 1860s was the Civil War. 1880s, the Western Reserve Academy left Hudson, and that kind of devastated the town in the 1880s. And what's interesting is they actually moved towards Cleveland and became Case Western Reserve University. So Case was actually founded in Hudson. 1890s, a large fire burned down most of these buildings running along here, except for, you know, the barber shop and those few up there. And then 1890 or 1900, the only bank in town closed. So Hudson went through a rough 50 years there. And as you can see, it's doing pretty well now. In 1907, James Ellsworth, who was born here, became wealthy, came back, started putting a lot of money and resources in here, utilities, phone lines, paved streets, and constructed the Ellsworth Clock Tower right in the middle of town as a sign of the revitalization of Hudson. He also, a few years later, started back up Western Reserve Academy, northeast of town, and that has now become one of the best boarding and prep schools in all of Ohio. So you can see this is just kind of a row of art shops. There's a couple restaurants here, a bank, our Howard Hanna office, jewelers, a runner shop. There's the Hudson restaurant up here. Most people really come down here to hang out and eat and go to the events. They have the concert series in the park. They have some older musicians and bands playing kind of the classics in the center area of town here, and then back towards the newer section of town, they have kind of more of the contemporary music. Farmer's Rail, butcher shop. Then you have the South Green here with the gazebo in it, and then there are two more green areas just south of town. We're gonna make a right up here. If you guys are thinking about moving here, I am a realtor in Northeast Ohio. I make these videos to help you guys out, looking at different areas, see if you're really interested in moving here, what these places are really like, just walking around and showing you downtown. So help me out here and give me a call, text, email if you ever need anything. We're gonna head back to First and Main. First and Main is kind of the newer area of town. They have their own website with a ton of resources on there. So check that out. I'll put it in the description. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there, and this is really the walkable area of town, I would say. You can see it gets pretty busy up towards the front, but this is very quiet. People are always walking around back here. And you have these really nice park green area spaces. It's not like a lot of cities in Northeast Ohio, they don't have this. I would say Hudson and Chagrin Falls are kind of really walkable on the far east side, and then you have Shaker Heights with their Van Aken district. Then of course there are some other walkable cities on the east side and Lakewood over on the west side. Hudson and Chagrin are kind of like the hallmark Mayberry towns, I guess you could say. They're cute, they're quaint. People come here for the food, the restaurants, the walkability. This is First and Main Green back behind these cars where they have the concerts going on. And then you have a few shops and restaurants along this area as well. Right down Streetsboro Street here is another Acme shopping plaza. And then you have the Heinens right down First Street. So if you're looking for shopping or living here, a lot of people go to the Acme Plaza or the Heinens, and then most people will go over to Streetsboro, which is only 10 minutes away, for like a Target or a Lowe's or some of those bigger, larger stores over there. They're really building up Streetsboro, and that's very close. So it's a lot more convenient if you're looking for those larger stores. So if you're looking for restaurants here, Tomato Grill is probably, we see that when we go around the side here. Tomato Grill is probably one of the most frequent that I hear from people when you say where should I go eat in Hudson. There's also Rosewood Grill southeast outside of town. Flip side is kind of a chain. They have a few locations here. They have really good burgers. I really like them. Then there's an Aladdin's over there. You don't get a ton of food at Aladdin's, but it's usually pretty good. Some Mediterranean, Middle Eastern food. Cold Stone Creamery. And then over towards that Acme Plaza, you have your Panera Bread and Chipotle. This is the massive library, and that's fairly recent. I think it was put up in the last 20 to 30 years. Historic Society in there. Parkside or Flipside's got a really nice patio out on the back here. Couple shops, little boutiques. I don't come here for shopping. I don't really do shopping outside of Amazon, so it's really just the events, the parks, the walkability, the food. Food is a huge motivation for me to get out and go explore somewhere. Lots of parking here as well, and there are a couple large parking lots within Hudson. There's a parking garage right in front of us that you can see, and then as we go towards the library, and the Heinen's has a parking lot. So it's not horrible to park down here. Of course, Friday night does get really busy. There's a lot of people in and out of here. We're in the middle of the day. You know, it's noon, so it's not crazy busy, and you can see it's still pretty parked up. This is First Street. This is kind of a fun walkable area. There's Rosewood Grill, pretty good Italian food. Really nice atmosphere in there. It does get really busy. Like I said, on Friday, it gets pretty loud in there. Not too bad. Here's the Heinen's right in town. It's really convenient if you live close to town. Hudson is really known for just the historic area, the walkability, of course, those highly rated schools, the crime here. Throw some crime statistics for you. Significantly lower than the state average. And that's honestly, that's about it. If you go south here, there's your library with the parking lot, and here's the Heinen's parking lot. And then we're gonna head right up back here to Main Street. And that's kind of all of downtown Hudson. Get a chance, come check out, come hang out here, get something to eat, some coffee. Go see the parks around here, because those are a lot of fun. If you're thinking about moving here, give me a call, text, or email. I'm always available. I always pick up the phone. I hope this was helpful. And if you're local here, let me know in the comments what your favorite part of Hudson is, or this area, the best restaurants, what you like to do down here, some of the best events and things going on in Hudson. And thanks for sticking around to the end. Thanks for watching.